Guys, this looks like a fun one. We're given the quantity x plus root x over root x plus root x over the quantity x plus root x equals 4. And it wants us to solve for x such that x is greater than 0. If you want to try it on your own, pause it right now because I'm going to solve it in 3, 2, 1. First, let's focus on this fraction right here. This can be split up into x over root x plus root x over root x. And then we can copy down everything else. And then from here, we can simplify this a little bit. X over root x simplifies to root x. And then we can add to that root x over root x, which simplifies to 1. And then we can copy down everything else. And then from here, let's get this fraction alone. Let's subtract root x from both sides and subtract 1 from both sides. On the left-hand side, all of this will cancel out. And on the right-hand side, we'll have 4 minus 1 minus root x. And 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. So we have 3 minus root x. And now from here, to get rid of this in the denominator, we can multiply both sides by that value. On the left-hand side, this on top and this on bottom will cancel each other out, leaving us with square root of x. And then on the right-hand side, we can multiply this all out. It'll be 3 times x plus 3 times root x minus root x times x, or x root x, and then minus root x times root x, or x. And then from here, we can combine like terms. Let's get this root x over here by subtracting root x from both sides. On the left-hand side, root x minus root x is 0. On the right-hand side, we can combine these two blue terms. 3x minus x is 2x. And then we can do the 3 root x minus root x, which is 2 root x. And last, we can bring down the negative x root x. Now from here, each of these we could factor out a root x. Let's see what happens when we do that. When we pull a root x out of the 2x, it's going to be 2 root x. And then when we pull a root x out of this, it's going to be 2. And when we pull a root x out of this, it'll be negative x. And now anytime you have something times something equals 0, it'll be true if either of those somethings is equal to 0. So we have root x is equal to 0, or 2 root x plus 2 minus x is equal to 0. So let's focus on the root x equals 0. That will only be true if x is equal to 0. And it says up here, x must be greater than 0. So this one is not valid. And for the other one, it's going to take a little bit of work. So let's give ourselves some room to do a little bit of work. And now from here, let's make the negative x the leading term. And let's divide everything by negative 1, so the leading term will be positive. Negative x divided by negative 1 is positive x. Positive 2 root x divided by negative 1 is negative 2 root x. And positive 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. And then on the right-hand side, 0 divided by negative 1 is 0. Now we can solve this using the quadratic formula. We just need to think of this x as a root x squared. It'll be root x is equal to the negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac whole thing over 2a. In this case, the a is equal to 1, the b is equal to negative 2, and the c is equal to negative 2. So we can plug all those into this. It'll be root x equals negative b would be negative 2, which is equal to 2, plus or minus square root of b squared would be negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 2. And the whole thing is going to be divided by 2 times positive 1. From here, to clean this up, negative 2 squared is equal to positive 4. And negative 4 times 1 times negative 2 is positive 8. And then in the denominator, 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Let's smush everything together, and under the square root, we can combine the 4 plus 8 to give us 12. We can rewrite the 12 as 4 times 3, and we can give the 4 and the 3 their own square roots. And the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So now we have 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 over 2. We can divide top and bottom by 2, and that'll leave us with 1 plus or minus 1 root 3. And now let's give ourselves some more room and work on this. So first thing we should do, let's look at the plus version and the minus version. We know that x is greater than 0, so this square root of x has to be positive. In this case down here, 1 minus root 3 is a negative number. Since a positive number can't be a negative number, this one isn't valid. So let's focus on this one right here. In order to get the x by itself, we can square both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, the square root of x, quantity squared, is equal to the absolute value of x. And since we know that x is positive, the absolute value of x is the same thing as x. And that's going to be equal to this thing multiplied by itself. And this multiplied out is equal to this right here. And then we can combine like terms. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, and root 3 plus root 3 is equal to 2 root 3. And this is the answer to our question. X is equal to 4 plus 2 root 3. Let's put a box around it. And this is approximately equal to 7.46 7.46410. And for the fun of it, let's look at it in Desmos. If we set y equal to the left-hand side here and y equals 4 here, and we can see it intersects right here at about 7.46. How exciting.